Welcome back to another episode of Decoding Cybersecurity, where we break down cybersecurity concepts, analyze real-world threats, and explore how cybersecurity is represented in media. This week, I watched the recently released Netflix web series, 0 Day. As the title suggests, it immediately grabbed my attention. Because in the world of cybersecurity, 0 Day is a term we take very seriously. Now, before you worry, this is not a spoiler-heavy review. I'm not here to break down the entire plot or tell you whether it's a good or bad show. Instead, we are going to analyze, does 0 Day actually relate to cybersecurity? What key cybersecurity concepts appear in the show? And what we can learn from it as security professionals. So, let's get into it. For those in cybersecurity or InfoSec, the term 0 Day is something we all are familiar with. It refers to a vulnerability in software or hardware that is unknown to the vendor and has no official patch or fix, meaning hackers can exploit it before developers even realize there's a flaw. In the show, the opening scene revolves around a 0 Day attack on multiple systems, showing the catastrophic impact a coordinated cyber attack can have. Imagine this. Multiple systems are compromised at the same time, even for just 1 minute. Public transport like railways or air traffic control goes down. The result? Thousands of lives are lost. Now, while this is a dramatized version of a 0 Day attack, it does highlight something critical. A large-scale coordinated cyber attack can create absolute chaos. And that's not just fiction. It's a reality that governments, businesses, and security professionals have to prepare for. As a cybersecurity professional, I was naturally paying attention to the tech and security references throughout the show. And there were quite a few. Some of the key terms mentioned include hackers group, deepfake, crypto, decryption, AI, and of course malware spread, which is a key theme as systems are infected during the 0 Day attack. Now there's one interesting phrase that stood out to me in the show. This will happen again. If you think about it, the message on the compromised devices was a warning. But it's also a reality of modern cybersecurity. Attacks don't just happen once. If one vulnerability is exploited, another will be too. Let's take a moment to consider a hypothetical cybersecurity nightmare. Imagine 70% of the world uses a popular messaging app. What app? You know, right? One day, a bug is introduced via automatic updates, and suddenly, all these devices are infected with malware. Within minutes, millions of users' data, passwords, and private conversations are compromised. Sounds scary? Well, it's not impossible. With the rapid advancement of technology, even something like quantum computing could change everything. Microsoft recently introduced a quantum chip called Majorana. And if quantum computing becomes mainstream, current encryption methods could be broken instantly. That means everything we encrypt today, bank transactions, passwords, secure communications, could be decrypted in seconds. Now, I'm not saying we are there yet, but it's something cybersecurity experts are actively working to counter. One of the major themes in the show is cyber weapons. At one point, they mention a cyber weapon allegedly developed by the NSA, which later turns into discussions about neurological weapons. Now, if something like a neurological weapon actually existed, it would be an even greater cybersecurity concern. Think about it. A cyber attack that doesn't just crash systems, but alters human behavior. That's next level dystopian. While the show takes some creative liberties, it does bring up an interesting discussion. What if governments or hackers could use cyber weapons in ways we haven't even imagined yet? And that's the reality of cybersecurity. It's always evolving. At the time of recording this podcast, IMDb rates Zero Day at 7 out of 10. But here's my take. If you are looking for a hardcore cybersecurity thriller, you might be a little disappointed. If you are expecting a deep dive into how malware works or hacking techniques, this isn't the show. But if you enjoy political thrillers with a touch of cyber themes, you might like it. To me, it seems like the creators wanted to make this a political crime thriller rather than a pure cybercrime thriller. That means the show appeals not just to IT and cybersecurity professionals, but to a wider audience. Before I wrap up, I want to leave you with some key takeaways from this episode. Zero-day attacks are real, and they can be devastating. Coordinated cyber attacks on critical infrastructure could cause massive chaos. Emerging technologies like AI, deepfakes, and quantum computing will redefine cybersecurity. Cyber weapons could become more dangerous than we ever imagined. Now, there was one line in the show that stuck with me. Greatness requires greatness. Maybe it was meant to be a dramatic quote, but in the world of cybersecurity, I think it means that great threats require great defenses. And that's exactly what cybersecurity professionals around the world are working towards every day. And that's a wrap for this week's episode of Decoding Cybersecurity. What do you think if you have watched Zero Day? Do you feel like it represented cybersecurity well, or did you think it was more of a political thriller? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Send me a message or leave a comment. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to follow, share, and leave a review. Until next time, stay secure, stay informed, and keep decoding cybersecurity. Bye-bye.